Welcome to ANS Solver question 1 of this paper. So for part A1 they are asking us to work out the total journey time from London to Marseille, and they are asking you to give your answer in hours and minutes. So since the time is given in 24 hours, the easiest way to solve such a question is you can simply minus the time from each other in your calculator. So you do 1446, so 1446 minus 719. So when you do that, that is 1446 minus 719. When you do that, you will get your answer in your calculator as 727. Now this means 7 hours 27 minutes. But so they are telling you that the local time in Marseille is 1 hour ahead of the local time in London. So what you do is from this time you minus 1 hour. So therefore your final answer will be 6 hours and 27 minutes. So this is the easiest way to solve such a question when the time is given in 24 hours. So 6 hours and 27 minutes. So that will be our final answer for part A1. Now let's move to part A2. So for part A2 they are telling us that the distance from London to Ashford is 90 kilometers. The local time in London is the same as the local time in Ashford. Work out the average speed in kilometers per hour of the train between London and Ashford. Okay, so speed is equal to distance by time. Now the total distance that they've given us is 90 kilometers per hour, and the total time would be in the table, that is from London to Ashford. So all you need to do is take the difference of 755 and 719. You'll get the answer as 36. So this 36 indicates 36 minutes, but we have to give our answer in kilometers per hour. So what we do is you do 90 divided by 36 by 60, because you have to convert minutes to hours. Therefore you can change this to 90 multiplied by 60 by 36, and therefore you will have your final answer when you put this in your calculator. So 90 multiplied by 60 divided by 36, you will get your final answer as 150 kilometers per hour. Now let's move to part A3. So for part A3 they are asking us to calculate the length of the bridge. So they tell us that during the journey the train takes 35 seconds to completely cross the bridge. The average speed of the train during this crossing is 90 kilometers per hour. Okay, so to calculate the length of anything, you need the formula is distance is equal to speed multiplied by time. So the speed they've given us as 90 kilometers per hour, and the time in seconds. But since the speed is in hours, we need to convert this to hours as well. So 35 multiplied by 35 divided by, so if we divide seconds by 60, it'll become minutes, and if we divide it by another 60, then it'll become hours. So therefore if we work out 90 multiplied by 35 divided by 60 and then divided by 60 again, you'll get your answer 7 by 8 as a fraction. So 7 by 8. Now 7 by 8 is in kilometers the distance, and we need to convert it to meters. So you multiply this by 1000, and I'll just write it here that since it is kilometers, we multiply it by 1000 to convert it to meters, and therefore you will get your answer as 7 by 8 multiplied by 1000, which is equal to 875 meters. Now this distance is the total distance of the bridge and the train, and we need to find only the distance of the or the length of the bridge. So from 875 meters we will minus 95 meters, because 95 meters is the length of the train. So 875 meters minus 95 meters is equal to 780 meters. Therefore 780 meters will be our final answer for A part 3. Now let's move to part B of this question. So they are telling us, or they've given us the different fares for adults, children at a standard rate and a premium rate. So for part B1, they are asking us to calculate the ratio of adult fare is to child fare in its simplest form. So the easiest way to do that is the adult fare, that is $84, divided by the child fare, which is $60. And as you can see, they've written in bold, we have to calculate the ratio of the standard fare. So now all you need to do is reduce this fraction to its simplest form. So if you divide both of them by 2, you will get 42 and 30. Once again, if you divide the numerator and denominator by 2, you'll get 21 by 15. Now if you divide both the numerator and denominator by 3, you will get 7 by 5. And therefore your final answer will be 7:5. That will be our final answer for part B1. Now let's move to part B2. So for part B2, they are asking you to find the percentage increase in the cost of the standard fare to the premium fare. Okay, so what you do is you subtract the original price from the new price and then divide it by the original price and multiply it by 100 to find the percentage. So the percentage increase, so 140 minus 84, which is $56. So 140 minus 84, which is 56, divided by the original price, that was 84, multiplied by 100. So now all you need to do is input this into your calculator. So 56 divided by 84 multiplied by 100 will give you your answer as 66.666 recurring, and we will write our answer as 66.7% because we need to give our answer in 3 significant figures, and the 4th significant figure in this case, which is 6, is greater than or equal to 5. So we'll round off the 6 to the next number. Now let's move to B part 3 of this question. So for B part 3, they are asking us to calculate the total fare paid by the adults and the children. Now they've given us some information. Let's go through that. So they are telling us that number of adults to number of children is in the ratio 11:2. They are telling us that there were 220 adults in total. So you can find the number of children by cross multiplying and finding the value of x. So 11 multiplied by x and 220 multiplied by 2. So 220 multiplied by 2 is 440. And when we do 11x is equal to 440, we can get the 11 to the other side. So it will become division. And therefore x will be equal to 40. Therefore there were 40 children. Now they tell us that all of the children and 70% of the adults paid the standard fare. So let's calculate first the standard fare that was paid. So standard fare. So the standard fare, all children paid the standard fare. So we can write 40 multiplied by the amount that is for standard fare for children, that is $60. So 40 multiplied by 60 plus 70%, so that is 0.7 multiplied by the total number of adults, because 70% of the adults paid the standard fare. So standard fare for adults is $84. So 80 multiplied by $84 multiplied by $84. Now we just have to simplify this and we'll have our standard fare, and then we'll calculate the premium fare. So the calculation will be 40 multiplied by 60, which is 2400, plus 0.7 multiplied by 220 multiplied by 84, which is equal to 12,936. So the total standard fare will be equal to 15,336. Now this is only the standard fare. We still have to calculate the premium fare. So the premium fare would simply be 30%, so that is 0.3 of the total number of adults multiplied by the amount of the premium fare, that is $140. So multiplied by 140. Therefore, it is equal to 0.3 multiplied by 220 multiplied by 140, which is equal to 9,240. So therefore, the total fare is equal to 15,336 plus 9,240. So therefore, the final answer, you just need to add both these amounts and you will get your answer as $24,576. So therefore, $24,576 will be your final answer for part B3. Now let's move on to part C. So for part C, they tell us that there were 3.08 into 10 to the power 5 passengers. So if we write this in normal or in a number format, not in the standard form, we will have 308,000. So the multiplied by 10 raised to 5 means that you move the decimal 5 places to the right, because the 10 is raised to 5, so you move it 5 places to the right. Therefore, we came to this number. Now they tell us this was a 12% decrease in the number of passengers that made this journey in 2017. So we have to find the number of passengers that made the journey in 2017. So now, since this is a decrease in 12%, so this would be 88 out of 100, or the 88th percentage out of 100. So we have to find the original amount, that was the 100th percentage. So what you do is you simply cross multiply. So x multiplied by 88 is 88x, which is equal to 308,000. And therefore x will be equal to 308,000 multiplied by 100. So you add 2 more zeros. So 308 with 5 zeros divided by 88 will give you an answer of 350,000. Now, they've asked us to give our answer in standard form. So therefore, you will write your answer as 3.5 multiplied by 10 raised to 5. Now, this is because standard form is written in the form a point the rest of the number multiplied by 10 raised to n. Now, the n represents the amount of times you need to move your decimal to the right or the left to reach your original number. And a cannot be 0, and a has to be between 1 to 9. So we have achieved all three rules of standard form, and therefore this will be our final answer for part C of this question.